Time to go down the depth chart.
When you have a backup quarterback, you're always hoping the guy's capable of being a true starter.
Actually, a bit further down.
So we'll see. We got some guys on practice squad that, if called upon, I know they'll be ready to help out.
Yeah, now we're talking. Welcome to the practice squad.
Oh, yes. I mean, I think practice squads are one of the most important things in NFL building.
With Walter E. Calbasetta and Derek Papa on KNBR, the sports leader.
Yo, what is up, KNBR heads? Welcome to the late night, to the practice squad.
Ooh.
Myself, Walter E. Calbasetta, with Derek Papa. What's Papa? I already see AJ Cruz in here. I see Pat H. What's up, everybody in the YouTube chat? And what's up, Derek? How you doing, man?
Wally Icky, how's it going this late evening?
It's going fantastic. I wish, I've been on a huge betting kick the last couple of days.
And you degenerate.
Which dude, 100%. I got to tell you what the hell happened over the week 9 bye week, right? I didn't have Niners to watch. We'll get into upon further review. Just a little different way to look at it, right? We'll look at the NFC West and we'll look at the deadline what the 49ers didn't do. And if that was an issue, but it was kind of a slow deadline this time around. Wasn't too much going on.
No, not a ton of action, but I think the bigger names were dealt kind of earlier.
Right, like a couple weeks prior, with Hopkins and Amari Cooper and those guys.
Yeah, and Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
And but there were some big moves. There were definitely some big moves on the trade deadline Tuesday. I thought Marshawn Lattimore going to the Commanders is a huge move.
Better than the Chiefs. I know we were freaking out when you mentioned that to me. I don't know.
That was the rumor.
Did you bring that up on the pod, or was that like something that you threw at me while I was at my desk that morning?
I believe it's something I threw at you that morning because
I was freaking out, bro. I was like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, I know. If the Chiefs got Marshawn Lattimore, that would have been a wrap. But no, I read an article from Adam Schefter, who was given all the trade deadline, the latest rumors and whatnot, and he threw that out there. And yeah, I know a lot of Niner fans are happy that Marshawn Lattimore didn't go to the Chiefs. But, you never know with this Commander team. Maybe they'll see him in the playoffs. Who knows? They're not going to play him in the regular season. But, yeah, Marshawn Lattimore going to the Commanders for a third, a fourth, and a sixth is a pretty big deal, I think, because they got the offense. But one thing that was lacking was probably their defense and maybe their secondary. And now they get a true shutdown corner. He's hurt. He's got a hamstring injury. But wouldn't be surprised if he heals up quick or if he's out there next week. But there was that. Zadarius Smith going to the Lions was pretty big. I thought they needed pass rush. And he's under contract, I think, for the next 2 years. So he'll be there with Aiden Hutchinson, you would have to believe, next year. Mike Williams going to the Steelers. It was pretty clear that Aaron Rodgers didn't like him. Preston
how about Aaron Rodgers being on McAfee when that broke? Like it was like timed perfectly. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go do my hit with McAfee, and by the way, let me talk crap about Mike Williams getting traded.
Yeah, I mean, he played it off like, it was tough for Mike. He tore his ACL last year, so he was trying to recover, and
he never won. He never won. Well, now that he has his ex-girlfriend back in there, and he's with Devontae Adams. He's like, I don't need you anymore.
He's also true ex-receiver, Walter. No, I thought that Mike Williams. I thought that Aaron Rodgers wanted Mike Williams initially, and then once he got there, they weren't able to get the work in the offseason because he was rehabbing from his ACL tear. Yeah. That they were kind of off a little bit. So the funny thing though was I watched Mike Williams' introductory, I guess, presser or just the scuffle with the Pittsburgh media, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I was kind of behind the 8 ball because I wasn't able to practice with these guys in the offseason. So now I'm going to Pittsburgh, where I haven't practiced with these guys in the offseason. So now he'll have to adjust even more with Russell Wilson." But that was interesting. The Steelers also made a move to get Preston Smith, the pass rusher from the Packers, who wasn't jiving with the 3-4 defense, or sorry, the 4-3 defense with the Packers, wanted to go to a 3-4 scheme. So they make that move. What else happened? Khalil Herbert, the running back, went to Cincinnati.
Mhm.
Tre'Davious White goes to the Ravens. I don't think he's gonna make a difference. I think he's on the latter portion of his career. And the Cowboys traded for Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah.
Mingo.
Mingo. The
Yeah.
Mingo. Wait, yeah. No, dude. I mean,
You say a Mingo was your baby?
yes, I was.
Yeah.
I was gonna do that. Thank you.
Not
Yeah, no,
bad.
there was a lot of moves, but I guess that game changing, right? I mean, maybe Zadarius Smith, right? But is he expected to be? I mean, obviously they needed to fill that gap of not having Hutchinson there. But is he someone that puts them over the top? Like I just don't, I know that he'll help soften the blow of losing Hutchinson, but I don't think that he's that much of a difference maker for the Lions at this point.
I mean, maybe not a difference maker, but he definitely helps. And I think prior to Zadarius Smith coming along, the Lions were the best team in football. I
Yes.
mean, you could
Yes.
say what you want about the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs, they're the defending champs, so maybe they get the edge there.
They know how to win. They know how to win. It doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look pretty. Their offense is still kind of trying to find it, but their defense just does enough to
Yes.
keep that offense in the game. And Patrick Mahomes does what Patrick Mahomes does at the end of the game, and he goes out and wins. I mean, that's what happens.
By the way, I can't highlight the comment here, but Pat
one?
H, you guys remember Barcavius Mingo, the linebacker? Of course I do. It was a great name, Barcavius Mingo, and that's how you always have to say it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I agree with you, Walter. The Lions defense is bend, don't break. They do enough. Kirby Joseph, their safety, is tied for the league in interceptions this year with 6, and he had a huge pick 6 against Jordan Love towards the end of the half there. But I just think that the Lions, I mean, equal parts, running the football, passing. I believe the stat is, I could be wrong here, but I'm going to say it anyway. I believe the craziest stat I've heard so far in this NFL season, is that the Lions have more scoring drives than Jared Goff has in completions. Think about that.
Wow. Are you serious?
If I'm wrong, someone correct me. But I think
Goff
Cope said that.
only passes the ball like 15 times. So,
I know, but Cope's brought that one up. I have to look it up. I should look it up. I am a producer after all.
Yeah.
Cope's
brought that up.
That's what I'm saying. Like Cope's has been known to be wrong from time to time. So
take that
I'll
with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, man, I do think right now the Lions are the best team in football.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to argue, and we'll definitely get into that in the Gridiron Gab because obviously there's a lot to look to in Week 9, and it is kind of the halfway point of the NFL season, right? So we'll kind of break down where these teams stand and who is a legitimate playoff team at this point in the season, and I do want to kind of it was election season, right? So I do want to get your
do we have to?
No, I'm gonna get your votes for league awards. We're gonna do that at the at the Gridiron Gab. We'll go ahead and get through that, man. So 49ers didn't have a game this week. And yeah, I went heavy on the betting, dude. Talking about the Chiefs. I had a 6-leg parlay that involved Patrick Mahomes getting more than 1.5 touchdown passes. Yeah, he did that. I had it all started because I lost on the Sunday slate, and it was Sunday Night Football, and I was just like, man, I need to have some action. I need to have action. So I went on the Justin Jefferson. Action. Yeah, dude. I went on the Justin Jefferson over for the second half because he was at like 74 yards, I think, at the end of the first half. Okay. And the over was 123. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm banging the over. So that's where it all started. So I went into Monday Night Football with a whole bunch of legs with who else was on that? I have to go ahead and look at it. But point being, never bet on a kicker to kick 2 field goals in an NFL game. That's probably like the worst bet. I thought Harrison Butker would definitely and the Bucks get a damn stop. Get a damn stop. Jesus, what are you doing?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one to hope that a kicker will get more than 2 field goals. I don't know if I put money on that one.
Derek, I was sitting pretty. He had the first one early in the game. I was like,
I'm sorry.
You only need one more. And then how the whole game panned out, I was like, "Oh, dude, they're gonna settle for a field goal. They're gonna get stopped here. All they need is a field goal. They don't need a touchdown." And then DeAndre Hopkins goes in there and scores the game tie. I think it was game tying touchdown at that point, or no, it was the go ahead touchdown. And then Baker would go down and score the game tying at the end of regulation. So then I was like, "Oh, okay, the Chiefs have 29 seconds. They can go down here and kick a game-winning field goal. We've seen it before. Shout out the Buffalo Bills. Didn't happen. They go to OT. I'm still hopeful. I'm like, oh yeah, they'll get the ball and they'll get held for a field goal. And nope, I just got my hopes up for nothing.
I'm sorry, Walter.
On a kicker, Harrison Butker. Never do it. Never do it, chat.
Yeah, I mean that to rely on that. I mean, so you had 6 legs and 5 of them were good, but man, just that last leg,
just that last leg. Yeah, 6 legs. There's a joke in there somewhere. But yeah, dude,
I was thinking that the whole time. I have 6 legs too.
John. I have 6 legs. They call me a third leg.
By the way, the whole thing of you talking about your bets reminded me of last year. And you know what I'm talking about, where the Giants and Packers were playing the Monday night game, and you needed the Packers to win, but the Giants won on a field goal. I think they won like 24-22, and that win caused the Niners to clinch a playoff berth. So the next day, Lund brings this up on the radio. How much money did you lose, Walter?
I believe I lost upwards to $1,500, $1,600 on that game. It was who was it? Yeah, it was Jordan Love at that time. Who was the quarterback? Tommy Cutlets. What's his actual name?
For the Giants, it was Tommy DeVito.
DeVito.
Take care, brush your hair.
Paisan. Yeah,
exactly. And because the Giants won, it gave the Niners, it clinched a playoff berth. And John Lund on the show brings it up, and you give your whole sob story, and then John Lund is very sympathetic, saying our poor producer Walter lost out on $1,500, and all my dad could say is, okay. But the Niners are in the playoffs, and that's all that matters, everybody.
No one cares about the money.
About Walter struggling.
But they're in the playoffs. And John's like, they would have clinched next week. They didn't.
Yes.
They didn't need that. But the 49ers clinched it. No one cares about
I don't care about Walter's paycheck. All I care about is my paycheck. Yeah, right. I need that playoff money, Johnny boy.
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. 100%.
I would too.
I remember the chat. We had a group text going, and Greg pretty much said, "Yeah, but they can clinch the playoffs." I was like, "But my money." No one cares.
I couldn't care at all, Walter.
Yeah, here. This is basically what Greg said. AJ Cruz hit it right on the nose. Basically, Greg said, "F your wallet, Walter." Yeah, that's essentially what he said.
Yep.
Yeah, he says it on multiple occasions.
Pretty much verbatim. That's what he said. Yeah.
Verbatim. All right. Well, that was fun. Kind of reliving my pain. So
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you. We should do that weekly here on the Practice Squad.
Ooh, a new segment. It's time to we'll have some crazy open for that. Oh, I'm so hurt. Oh my God. Oh, I'm dying. It's time to revisit Walter's pain. Oh, my leg. It'll be the old SpongeBob sound.
It's time for Walter's wounds.
MBR.
Yeah, there it is.
That's not bad.
That? Like that?
That's not bad.
It came right off the dome. It came natural.
We'll definitely get a different voice guy, but yeah, that's good.
We'll have AJ Cruz do it. We'll have him call in, and he'll be the voice guy.
I'll tell you what, Getty.
Yeah, dude. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into a different version of Upon Further Review. 49ers had the bye week, but we did have the trade deadline. We'll break all that down, but let's kick it off with Upon Further Review.
Now, the guys recap the red and gold. This is Upon Further Review.
The ruling on the field stands as called.
However, the 49ers did not make a big splash. That's something that we anticipated, right, Derek? We didn't think that there was going to be that big juicy move like they've done. There goes that word again, juicy. Big juicy move like they've done in the past.
Yeah, no, I said last week that I anticipate them making a big juicy move, and they didn't. So who they trade for? Khalil Davis.
Khalil Davis, yeah, not Kalia Davis.
Kalia Davis is already on the team. They got Khalil Davis.
KD is what we're calling him.
Yes, because he is the backup defensive tackle for the Houston Texans, and it makes sense. DeMeco Ryans basically running the same scheme.
Yep.
So he comes over and he adds a little more beef to the interior. So for those fans that were wanting, DeForest Buckner, or you see this one that popped up, like we got to stop with these Niner aggregator accounts. They're just nonsense. Just nonsense.
What? Kendrick Bourne? What?
Well, no, Kendrick Bourne I think was legit. But I'm talking about
I don't think I want Kendrick Bourne. Like, do you want Kendrick Bourne over like a 5th round pick? I'd rather have the 5th round pick.
Yeah. No, I mean, and the Niners said they were happy with their young talent. They probably snooping around on Kendrick Bourne. But no, I mean, for anybody that was anticipating them getting DeForest Buckner I don't know, like Tyreek Hill popped up in some stupid aggregator account.
Yeah, I saw that too. What was up with that, man?
I don't know. I don't know.
Why? 49. Look, okay, so we're talking about Tyreek Hill and that stupid bogus rumor that was out there. And then we mentioned Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne obviously knows the system, knows Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan loves him. He's a good blocker. He fits the scheme, right? But again, the need is not wide receiver. That is not what the 49ers needed. That what I think that they needed was a Zadarius Smith type. What was that they needed somebody on that defensive line to help offset Nick Bosa. I mean, that's something that they really needed, but they go ahead and get that depth piece, right? What is it? What was his name? Davis? What was his first name?
Khalil Davis.
Khalil Davis. Yeah, I see. I'm mixing him up. I'm just going to call him KD, but they get him in there. He's not going to be a guy that's out there, 70 snaps or like 70% of the snaps or anything like that. He's going to be in there rotational. He's a depth piece and all that kind of stuff. And he'll hopefully help on the run stopping for the 49ers. But yeah, they just didn't make a big move, but guys that they have currently on the roster, right? And we were kind of saying it jokingly last week, and that's with Christian McCaffrey. He's back at practice. He was limited again today. So you're looking at Christian McCaffrey potentially making his return back to the field against Tampa Bay in Tampa this weekend. Then you have Drake Greenlaw, who's working his way back. So, I mean, they're not necessarily trades, but when these guys get healthy, I mean, is that the biggest thing for this 49er team moving forward? Is that if they can finally reach full health, that they can be in the conversation like we were talking about with the Detroit Tigers and I think you got to throw the Commanders in there at that point. I mean, it's a little early for that to throw them into a big contender in the NFC, but when you look at the hierarchy of the NFC, 49ers just need to get healthy. Is that something that is accurate, would you say, Derek?
Yes, and they're the Detroit Lions, Walter. Sorry, I had to correct you there.
What did I say?
Tigers.
Did I say the Detroit Tigers? Oh, dude,
you did. Bears. It's all good.
Yeah, the Detroit Kitties. I'll just call them that. The Detroit Kitties. It covers everything.
The Motor City Kitties.
Yes.
I think that the biggest key was for the Niners to get healthy, and it sounds like McCaffrey's going to be back this week. Kyle Shanahan said today that there was no pain when he was running in practice, so that's a good sign.
Yep.
And I don't know when we're going to find out if he's good to go to play, because he was kind of coy today and said,
game time. Yeah.
Yes, he says he'd right kickoff. He said he could be good to go or he could be not, and he's not gonna base anything off of last year and his workload or what he feels what's going on with him right now. But yeah, I mean, McCaffrey coming back and Drake Greenlaw at some point. Juwan Jennings sounds like he's going to come back this week. Deebo Samuel sounds like he's got that oblique and rib issue, but sounds like he's going to be good. And let's not forget John Feliciano. Can't forget that guy. I love that we make fun of it on Tolbert and Copes, but it's just funny how every time we talk about the returning players, and John Feliciano, I remember him with the Raiders. Good player, but like not on the top of your head. And every time I just love that when we bring up the names of injured players coming back, John Lynch will always say like, well, can't forget about John Feliciano. I'm like, okay. no disrespect or anything. It's just, not a big name player.
Sure, yeah.
But I will say this, Walter. I will say this. Yes, it's a positive that all these guys, it sounds like they're heading in the right direction. And you don't want to go overboard on making moves, because I know in recent years it was McCaffrey and it was Chase Young and Emmanuel Sanders. But I feel like there's so much potential of guys coming back from injury that you could get by with what they have right now. I still think they have the most talent of any team in the NFC West. Now, are some teams up on the come? Like the Arizona Cardinals are playing really good football right now. They got the pass rusher. What's up?
Did you say on the come?
Yeah, on the come up, or whatever. It's a terminology.
Go ahead.
Get your mind out of the gutter, you filthy boy. Come on.
You couldn't have said come up. You stopped that. Go ahead. Continue. I apologize.
Childish.
I apologize.
God.
I'm sorry. I hang out with you and Copes too much. I'm sorry.
I know. But that's off the air. I'm 100% mature on this podcast, Mr. Poopy Pants. Now here we go. So,
speaking of poopy pants, I'll bring up another story later. Okay, go ahead.
Good Lord. But yeah, I forgot what I was even saying. I think that, I think
teams on the come up. Teams on the come.
Yeah. Okay. So the Arizona Cardinals look better. They got a pass rusher in Baron Browning. The Rams, I think, are turning the other cheek, or they're getting better. They're just like the Niners, where they're improving off of injuries. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua coming back. So yeah, I think, but out of the 4 teams in NFC West, I still feel the most confident in the 49ers make it a run in the second half. But I will say this. It's interesting to me that Deshaun Gibson is coming back, because he's on the practice squad, like our podcast name.
Yes.
And I just find it interesting that they wanted to go get him, because to me, that may signal something with Talanoa Hufanga. That's a name that hasn't been brought up as much. And our colleague, Mike Silver, reported that he believes that the Niners don't anticipate Talanoa Hufanga coming back this season. However, Talanoa Hufanga's agent, when reached out by Mike Silver, said he will be coming back, even if he has to wear a big old cast, because Talanoa Hufanga is a free agent next year, and he wants to get paid.
Right.
So while I think that is a good depth piece, not 100% sure that's good news for old Wolfman Hufanga.
Yeah, no, I mean, Hufanga, the reports were pretty. I mean, it was hard to read what was really going on, because you have one side, which is the 49ers, saying that he's done for the year. He's not going to come back. He's not going to play. He's not going to be on the field again. And then you have his representation saying, no, he's going to come back. He's going to play. So, I mean, being that he is done contract wise at the end of this year, you kind of see the writing on the wall that Talanoa Hufanga isn't going to be there. Then you look at the depth pieces that the 49ers currently have with Jair Brown and with Malik Mustafa. I mean, they've been looking pretty good as far as how they project into the future. So I don't anticipate seeing Talanoa Hufanga again this year. I know my sister loves Talanoa Hufanga, and she would hate to hear me say that, but yeah, I don't think that you're going to see him beyond this year with the 49ers. I think that's kind of I think that's the writing on the wall, 100%. But as far as it goes to the NFC West, Derek, the NFC West is interesting. And if you look at the schedule, I was looking at it with John Lund, and we were looking at the Cardinals, because I mean, no one's really taking the Seahawks seriously. I think that's kind of what you could say about the NFC West. And obviously with the Rams, if they get healthy and just how they can project out, I mean, maybe they can make some noise. And obviously they beat the Seahawks this past weekend. You called that game on your pick'em. But when you look to the Cardinals, I mean, their offense is clicking. Is this a team that is going to continue to stick around? And then when you start looking at the schedule, is that week 18 game going to be potentially for the division?
Could be, but I don't think so. I think that you'll start to see the other teams slide a little bit. The Rams' schedule is actually pretty favorable. That's a team that I'm looking at. I don't have that in front of me right now. I could probably pull it up here. But
would you say that the Rams are more of a serious contender for the West than the Cardinals at this point? Like, just based on schedule alone, or what?
Based on talent, based on quarterback play, based on coaching, I believe that the Rams have the upper hand against the Cardinals in all three departments there. Yeah. And the Rams have, as the Arizona Cardinals have beaten the Niners. So,
yes,
yeah, I think Matthew Stafford to me is still one of the best quarterbacks in football. So I still think that you give him a healthy offense of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and Kyren Williams, I think they could do some damage. And that defense is young and they make plays. Yeah, I think out of all the teams in NFC West, the team that could challenge the Niners the most would probably be the LA Rams. But I still I still believe the Niners can, turn things around the second half. It's just a matter of who's going to pick things up on the defensive side of the football. I think everyone's going to rely on Christian McCaffrey, bring the savior. And that's reasonable to expect, but also let's be reasonable in the fact that he is coming off. I mean, he didn't tear his Achilles, nothing popped, but this is very precautionary. And I've been listening to John Lund talk about it, and, it's a little concerning because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Kevin Durant.
Don't say it.
I know, but I am.
I hate to go down that route of thinking because I think that too. I mean, if he is suited up and on the field against the Bucks, I'll be watching that game on pins and needles. Like I will be nervous to watch Christian McCaffrey. And the second he goes down, it's the worst.
And hopefully that doesn't happen. But anytime,
hopefully,
yes, man. Anytime you have a calf strain or anytime you have an Achilles injury and you didn't, fully pop it, it lingers. And I don't know what the deal is with Achilles tendonitis, and the fact that it's in both legs is concerning.
Yes,
I just hope that they slow play this thing enough where it's not a concern. And he's good to go 100%, but maybe they need to ease him in a little bit. Maybe it's going to be running back by committee. You need to see what happens with Jordan Mason. I didn't hear anything today. Did he fully practice today?
I did not see the practice report. I can go ahead and pull that up, but I didn't see the practice report. From today.
Yeah, I don't think it should be McCaffrey carrying the load. I think it needs to be all three guys. I don't think you need to rely on McCaffrey 100% until you make the playoffs. Now there might be games where you need that, but they got him by with the likes of Jordan Mason and Isaac Orendo. I think they need to incorporate all three running backs and maybe use McCaffrey more in the receiving game. Help out Brock in those third and longs, or, don't get to those third and longs, make it more manageable for him.
Right.
Get things going in the red zone again, put up some points. I think this team will be fine. Now, are they going to compete with the likes of the Packers or the Lions or the Vikings or the Falcons or the Eagles? I don't know yet. But as of right now, I'd say they're the best team in the NFC West.
The Packers, I would say, kind of took a backseat this week. I mean, they're very inconsistent. They're going to be there. They're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be a force. So you have Jordan Love, obviously the love of your life, Derek. And when you look to the Vikings, I mean, I feel like they're kind of coming back down to reality a little bit with their quarterback play.
Then, Walter,
But when you look at Sam Darnold, I mean, he just didn't look impressive against the Colts on Sunday Night Football, which
he did.
How many people watched that game on Sunday Night Football?
I mean, I did.
I mean, you had to. I watched for my second half over for Justin Jefferson. I love that.
Yeah, but it was a snoozer.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Darnold's not playing as good as he did in the first couple of weeks. I think teams are kind of anticipating his throws, and it's not perfectly, everything's not perfect for him like it was the first couple of weeks. I think that the Vikings are still a good football team, but I wouldn't rely on them to be, a championship contender. And then there's the Buccaneers, who the 49ers are playing this week, and they've kind of crash landed a little bit since their loss to the Baltimore Ravens. They've lost 3 in a row, and they've suffered injuries to their receiving core. Chris Godwin out for the year. Mike Evans, I don't believe is going to play in this game against the Niners.
He shouldn't.
And they
be. He
almost
still has that hamstring. I think they're talking about a week 12 return.
Yeah, that's right, because of the bye week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they almost beat the Chiefs. They almost had an opportunity to.
They should have beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean they really should have gone for 2.
Come on, man.
But they're an aggressive team, and we know that Bosa loves playing Baker Mayfield. So short week for the Buccaneers. Niners coming off the bye. It should go in the Niners' favor here.
Well, the Niners are favored. Last time I looked at it, it was 5. I think it was maybe 5.5. But we'll definitely get into that, into the producer pick'ems. Just to answer your question earlier, and then we'll take a look at the Rams and the Cardinals schedule as well as the 49ers moving into this second half of the season post bye week for the 49ers. Jordan Mason did fully participate in practice today.
Well, there you go.
So there you go with that. But when you look to the schedules, I just pulled it up here. It did not look like a rough go. Very easy portion of the schedule coming up for the Rams in particular. So you were correct on that, Derek. They have the Dolphins on Monday Night Football this week, and then after a win, and then after that are we gonna play the schedule game? Is that what we're
Lay
doing?
it on me. Lay it on me.
All right. So the Rams currently, what are they sitting at? They're sitting at 4-4 on the season. Excuse me, 4-4 on the season. So going into week 10, they are playing the Dolphins. You call that as a dub on Monday Night Football. So that's 5-4. Then they go to New England in week 11. That's a win. Okay, so 6-4. Then they have the Eagles in LA.
Win.
Oh, all right. So they're 7-4 by the standards of Derek.
I didn't stutter.
All right, and then week 13 they go to New Orleans, play the Saints and Derek Carr.
Saints coming off a bye.
I don't have that information in front
I
of me,
believe they are
potentially. Yeah, they might be part of that big Buy-Mageddon, yeah, for week 12. They might be part of that.
Well, I mean, they should win that game, but you never know when you have to go on the road.
All right, well, let's call it a dub. Let's call it a dub and say that. So what? That's 8-4.
Yeah,
going into week 14, Bills in LA. That's a loss.
Probably a loss. Yeah,
that's probably a loss. That's probably a loss. So, so what? 8-5. Then it's a crucial matchup, Thursday Night Football, in December against the 49ers.
Niners win that one.
Niners win that one. Okay, so it is 8-6. Is that my math right? I'm not a mathematician. I almost said mathematician. Mathematician.
A mathematician. Now that is something.
Is that where we're at? 8-6 after the 49ers. Then they travel to New York to take on the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Who knows what the state of that team will be at that point.
I mean let's just say the Rams schedule, it's easy the next couple of weeks here, and then it gets a little tougher. But as far as the 49ers, I think in order for them to feel comfortable,
3-4 week stretch.
Yeah,
it's a rough stretch there at the end.
But I think for the 49ers to feel comfortable, they need to get to 10 wins.
10 wins.
They need to win 6 more games in order to punch their ticket for the postseason.
And do you see that? Do you see that on the schedule? Do you see the 6 games that they?
I mean, honestly, looking at their schedule, kind of tough. I think the losses are probably against. People are going to hate this. The Packers.
Yeah.
The Bills.
Shocker.
Well, it's in Green Bay, and that may not mean a lot because the Packers just lost to the Lions at home. But for right now, I'm going to say that's a loss. And then they go to Buffalo. I'm going to say that's a loss too. But after that,
the Greg Papa Bowl.
Exactly. But then, they play the Lions the last week of the season, and I'm not thinking that the Lions are going to go 16-1 to finish off the rest of the season. So I think they're going to have some losses here or there. Who's to say? I just think that, I think the 49ers are in a good spot, and they have a favorable schedule down the stretch here.
Yeah, the 49ers could potentially, I'm looking at it right now, they could potentially lose 4 of the next 9 games that they have left.
They could lose 4 of them?
They could potentially lose 4. They could potentially lose to the Packers. They could potentially lose to the Bills. They could potentially lose to the Lions. And I don't know if they come out victorious in week 18, or they can potentially lose to the you might laugh, but I don't feel good about this game this weekend, man.
No, I mean, yeah, but I think that the Niners, it's in their favor. Like I said, Bucks in a short week. The Niners coming off the bye. They're getting McCaffrey back. This kind of reminds me of like a year ago when they lost 3 in a row, and they came, I want to say it was the bye week, but whatever it was. Then they had to go to Jacksonville, and everybody thought the Jacksonville Jaguars were this, maybe going to challenge some teams in the AFC. And then they went to Jacksonville and just kicked the crap out of them 34-3. And I want to say that was the first game where we saw Chase Young. So, yeah, I think it was this time last year.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that things are really going in the Niners' favor. I anticipate them beating the Buccaneers this week. I'll give you that pick already.
All right. We'll document that for the producer pick'ems. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. So you're thinking that the division winner, I mean, Niners need to get to 10, and you think that gets it done for the 49ers to
I think
win
so. I think so.
All right. We'll have to see. It's an ongoing story throughout the entirety of the season. So we'll have to see that. But I do think that it could come down to that week 18 game.
An ongoing story, maybe even a never-ending story.
Oh, you like that movie? You like that one?
Falcor!
Dude, you remember that depressing
that thing scared the crap out of me.
What? The big dog dragon?
Yeah, what was his name? Atreyu?
I don't know. I don't remember his name, bro.
Falcor, Atreyu.
You remember that scene with the horse?
I don't actually. Walter, it's late. I'm losing my mind here.
Yeah. Clearly. All right, dude. Well, let's get it into the Gridiron Gab real quick, and then we'll finish up with
Gab
the producer
away, baby. Let's gab away.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Here's what's cracking across the NFL. It's time for Gridiron Gab.
Let's go. Why Mo to bunch left, Al Pacino? Why Mo to bunch left, Al Pacino?
With Derek and Walter.
All right, so we kind of already did it earlier, but I just want to get your thoughts on the playoff picture, Derek.
Okay,
where we currently stand with the playoffs and the NFC in particular. But when you look to the division winners, we have the Washington Commanders, you have the Detroit Lions at 7-1, Commanders at 7-2. I said the Tigers again. Damn it, the Detroit Lions at 7-1.
You're excused.
Don't look at me like that. I caught.
You're excused.
All right. And then the eventual winners of the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks just continue to just step on their own toes. And then the NFC West division winner currently is the Arizona Cardinals, but can fall to the 49ers. So I guess my question is, of all of these teams that are in the mix, with the Lions, with the Vikings, with the Packers, Falcons, Rams, Cardinals, Niners, who are the 7 playoff teams? Who gets in?
I'd see the Lions making it.
Okay.
I see the Falcons making it. Okay. I think you could put the Falcons in because
they'll win the division.
Yeah, like I was impressed with their win over
the 4. Yeah,
I know that people don't think highly of Dallas, and I don't think so right now. I think that their season is close to being over. We'll see what the length of time it is for Dak Prescott.
I didn't even mention Dallas.
Sounds like he's going on IR.
Yeah.
And if he's out for 4 weeks, oof. And I guess there's a rumor out there that maybe his hamstring's so bad that he may have to get surgery on it and he's out for the season.
Oof.
So if that's the case, you could put a fork in the Dallas Cowboys. As of right now, I don't see them making the playoffs. So if I had to go with the 7 teams, right now I'm going to say the Detroit Lions, the Atlanta Falcons. These are your division winners.
Right.
The Lions win the North. Falcons win the South. The Eagles win the East. And the 49ers win the West. And your wild card teams are going to be the Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, and maybe the Washington Commanders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. How many of those teams were playoff team? Vikings weren't playoff team last year, right? No,
They were not.
they were not. The Commanders weren't. Remember that?
Definitely,
that
the
stat?
Commanders were not a playoff team here.
No. I know that, Derek. Remember that stat that I gave you at the beginning of the year? I think it was the turnover rate.
Yeah.
Like there was 4. I think it was what was it? 4 new playoff teams that didn't make it, and that's potentially 2 already in the NFC.
I don't remember exactly what the number was, but I mean, there's always new teams that pop up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Falcons as well. Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. I'll have to go back and look at that, and we'll discuss it in future podcasts. But I think it's safe to say with those teams, I wouldn't be all that surprised though if one of these teams, like the Cardinals, were to sneak in and a collapse of the Minnesota Vikings just happens. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised just based on how I think the league is now adjusting to Sam Darnold. I feel like that can be a detriment to the rest of their season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that of all the teams, I mean, the teams that I probably are not buying for like a championship run are the Falcons, the Commanders, and I mean the Vikings were playing so well, and now it just kind of flipped. But I don't know if they're going to be a team that goes long into the playoffs.
You think there's any chance that the Commanders end up getting the number 1 seed?
No, I don't.
Come on, man. They're 7-2. 7-2.
Yeah, but
there.
Yeah, but they got a rookie quarterback, man, and I think that they're not beating the good teams. They're beating the bad teams right now. I made the mistake of picking them or picking the Giants and picking the Cleveland Browns to beat the Chargers.
Yeah,
and at this point, at this point, I think I just need to believe in the Chargers and Commanders as far as not slipping up and losing to bad teams, but I don't know if they're going to beat the good teams either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this season goes for the Commanders, just because that offense, man, is it's something to be reckoned with. I mean, Jaden Daniels is doing his thing, and he's banged up, right? He has like a little bit of a rib injury. Is that what?
Yeah, but it hasn't affected him. He obviously threw that Hail Mary touchdown pass to beat the Bears, and he was slinging it against the Giants. So but he's going to have his biggest test this weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Pittsburgh Steelers, man, that's another team. Are you surprised by the Pittsburgh Steelers in how good they are right now defensively? I mean, they're
not at all.
I think their points per game is second lowest in the NFL at like 14.9 or something like that.
Yeah, number 1 of the Chargers, who I don't believe have given up more than 20 points this season.
That's incredible.
But I still think the Steelers are the best. Yeah, but I think the Steelers are the best defense in all of football right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised at all about how good they are, because the Steelers always have good defenses. And they're going to get even better with Preston Smith. Just a matter of the offense. I wasn't buying right away Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Justin Fields did enough offensively to have them, I believe it was a 4-2 record or 3-2, whatever it was for the Steelers to start off with Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. But I think the offense is going to go to a different level with Russell Wilson now. So, no, man, they can make a run too. Did you want to do my awards at the midway point? You teased that. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. I'm good. I was gonna get right into that right when you stop talking, because it's a good transition point, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of those teams 6-2 leading the AFC North right now, and I want to start with the awards for Coach of the Year, man. I mean, is that an award that goes to Mike Tomlin? Is it the best? Is it best division in all, or best record in all of football? I mean, does it go to Andy Reid? Do you look at the talent that you have around? Like, how do you evaluate Coach of the Year? Because does Dan Quinn get a nod for what he's doing with the Commanders right now? I mean, there's a lot of candidates, right? I mean, who would be your number 1 guy to go to?
Well, I guess the criteria for Coach of the Year has changed throughout the years. Yeah, because it's more about the guys that you have to take into context the circumstances. Like, right. I thought it was ridiculous back in 2019 that John Harbaugh was Coach of the Year over Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
because the Niners were 4-12 the previous year and then went to 13-3.
Right.
And we're in the Super Bowl. So I always thought Coach of the Year was who's the coach that was able to turn around a crappy team into a good team.
Right.
And now it's kind of changed.
Which would be Dan Quinn, right? I mean,
Yes.
for the Commanders. Yeah.
So as of right now, I would pick Dan Quinn.
Mhm.
But I think some, writers kind of focus on the context of things like, what were the injuries or what was the salary cap situation, blah, blah, blah. It could be Mike Tomlin, but I want to see how they finish first.
Yeah.
And I also want to see how the Commanders finish as well. So right now, yeah, I would say it's Dan Quinn. But other guys that could get that award, I'm trying to think of who else is,
Could be another Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
the-
but
for
we
the
expected the
Lions.
Lions to be good this year.
I know. That's the thing. I mean, it kind of weighs with the expectations, right? So if you're going
Yeah.
on just guys that elevated their team to another level, I mean, it has to be Dan Quinn by that definition, right? But if Dan Campbell goes out there and wins the NFC outright, gets the number 1 seed, and finishes 14-3. I mean, how do you pass that up? I mean, I know that they were in the NFC Championship game a year ago, but how do you pass that up?
Yeah, but
And especially without Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, that's a huge blow to their defense.
that could be the case, but let's also remember that they only base this off of regular season. Postseason is not coming to play for these awards.
I know.
All right, but I don't know if they'll give it to Dan Campbell this year. If anything, Dan Campbell should have won it last year, but I thought Kevin Stefanski was more deserving of it. So right now, with the way they're playing, 7-2 record, I'll go with Dan Quinn for the Commanders.
Okay, Dan Quinn. I have no disagreements. And Pat H chiming in on the chat. He says Dan Quinn and Dan Campbell ? Yeah, chiming in on there. Yeah, I wonder what the chat thinks. Who do they think would be the coach of the year? I'd like to get their thoughts also. I see Ernie in here. What's up, Ernie? Sorry I didn't meet you guys over the weekend, but we'll have to do that again. We'll have to set that up for the practice squad. We got the practice squatters. We got to do a practice squatter meetup.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah, hell yeah, dude. All right,
Squad and pod.
yeah, fantastic, Derek.
We'll
Thank
do a
you.
live podcast.
Yes, we will. We'll have to find a location. Yeah, we'll figure that out. More awards. We did coach of the year. Let's go to MVP. That's the juicy one. MVP. Who would you give it to right now at this current moment? I mean, there's a lot of candidates. I mean, do you just go chalky? Go Patrick Mahomes. I know Lamar Jackson is having an MVP caliber season. I mean, who are you going with?
Well,
Got to be a quarterback, right? It's the quarterback award.
yeah, I mean, a quarterback will win this award. Do you know who the favorite is right now?
I do not. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I don't know.
I
who
was
the
going to look
favorite
up Jared
is.
Goff stats real quick.
Mm.
And
I don't think he has flashy numbers though.
he doesn't, but maybe
He's
that doesn't-
efficient. He's
yeah,
not flashy though.
but maybe that doesn't matter anymore. Maybe it's just based off of, are you? I mean, it's not so much like the gaudy numbers, like last year. Lamar Jackson, I think he had 24 touchdown passes all last year, and
Yep.
now he has 20. I think Lamar Jackson is deserving of MVP this year as opposed to last year. But down the stretch, he was incredible against the likes of the Dolphins and 49ers to win that award. But right now, yeah, Jared Goff, I mean, he's not throwing incompletions. I think you have to put his name in there. I mean, even though the Chiefs are 8-0, Mahomes has looked erratic at times this season, throwing bad
Yeah.
interceptions.
Yep.
So I don't think just because they have the best record that he deserves MVP. Josh Allen is playing really well. I mean, only 2 interceptions on the whole season, but he's not putting up the touchdown passes. Whew, this is tough.
So you essentially listed 4 of the top 5, not in any particular order, but 4 of the top 5. Where do you think Jared Goff lands on the MVP conversation as far as odds? Where do you think he's at?
Oh, so those are the current top 4 guys?
Well, you named 4 of the top 5.
Oh,
So
4 of the
Lamar,
top 5.
so Lamar, Patrick, Josh, and Jared Goff.
I'm going to say Jared Goff is 5.
He's 4.
Okay.
He's at plus 700 right now.
Okay.
Number 1, tied for number 1 is Lamar Jackson at plus 300.
Okay.
and Josh Allen plus 300 as well.
Okay. I think those two guys are deserving.
Then you got Patrick Mahomes at plus 450. Have any guesses who is number 5?
Derrick Henry.
No, I don't think that there isn't a non-quarterback until
On the
like
list?
9. Derrick Henry is listed in front of Brock Purdy, but Purdy has better odds. So I don't know how this is. I don't know how this list is constructed. Does it make sense? Number 5 is.
Hold on. All
right.
Let me guess.
All right, go ahead.
Not my guy Jordan Love, right?
No. He sadly is nowhere to be found as I'm scrolling.
Okay.
He's at plus 6,000, and there's no chance he's getting it.
All right, fair enough. Kirk Cousins?
Nope. All right, too many guesses. Ding, ding, ding. Sorry, our chat got it. Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Jaden Daniels. He's at plus 1,000. That's where he's at.
I don't see him getting it. If CJ Stroud, people last year were saying like, CJ Stroud could be the MVP. Yeah, he's not getting it.
Tell me, has a rookie ever won an MVP?
No, and that's why it won't happen.
It's exclusive. Like you got to be next generation type guy, right?
Yes.
I mean,
and not only that, I think only Lawrence Taylor is your defensive player of the year that was a rookie.
Yep.
So I don't see it happening. Yep. Not with Jalen Daniels this year.
It is he typed Jalen. It's Jaden Daniels.
Oh yeah, sorry, Ernie, you're screwing me up here.
Come on, bro, what are you doing?
You know what's late? You're messing with my mind.
We gotta revoke that correct answer because he spelled it wrong.
Yeah,
that doesn't win on Jeopardy.
It's Jaden Daniels.
Ding ding.
Screw you, Rocky New Era.
Yeah, dude.
Fool.
Yeah, it doesn't count if you read it wrong on Wheel of Fortune. It doesn't count.
Or Jeopardy. Don't you hate that when it's like they already answered the question and then they go back? It's like, ooh, sorry, our judges looked over the pronunciation and you're an idiot.
Do I hate it? No, I love it. It's great content.
Nah, it's too snarky. Just give it to them.
Dude, I would be so bad. I fuck up words like left and right. I would be so bad on.
Whoa, Walter,
on those games. What?
Watch your potty mouth.
Yeah, you ever want to go on any of those game shows?
The only game show I ever wanted to go on is Hot Ones.
Hot Ones, yeah.
And some say that's not even a game show. It's not. Just a show I want to go on.
Yeah, it's just a show. Yeah,
but it's a game to me to see if I can withstand the heat. And as some of the squatters know from my other podcast, I can handle my own.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we are up against it, so I'm gonna end the election, the votes right there for MVP and Coach of the Year. Yeah, I'm gonna stop the polls, man. Gonna stop the count. Yes, 100%. So let's go ahead and transition, Derek. It is that time of the week. It is the producer pick'ems.
Want to know which teams to take this week? Or maybe which teams not to take? Time for Producers Pick'em. Walter and Derek make their picks on KNBR, the sports leader.
I just realized I got to
Walter.
You beat me. You beat me.
How is that possible with all my terrible picks?
Dude, do you know how bad we started this week? Our first 6 games, we were 0-6.
Oh, yikes.
It was bad, dude. We got our ass kicked. But on that note, you bounced back. You started 0-3 and you finished 4-3. That you got a winning record for week 9. Congratulations, Derek. I did not favor too well. Which I kind of got screwed because going back and looking at it, I had multiple touchdown spreads. And I just it's too big. It's too big. Too big of a spread.
Sounds like it, my man.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, I was just reading AJ Cruz. Hot sauce punishment for Walter, I hope. No, AJ, did you see me change color on the off-air podcast when we did that? I don't think I'm doing that again.
You changed colors?
That's what they were saying, that I was changing colors before their eyes.
Was that when we did my ghost pepper one?
Yeah, and then I said I ain't no bitch, and then I put like way too much on it.
You fool.
And I indeed was a bitch. My
Nah.
face was red.
Hey man, some people can stand the heat.
You remember when I was texting you from the toilet that night?
No. Why would that be something I remember?
Oh well, I remember it.
I try to block it out of my memory.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. No, I'm not gonna do. I'll do a poop story later in the year.
Now that's a tease.
When we're getting a little loose. Yeah, you gotta stick around. Got to stick around for.
We're not loose right now.
No, we're not loose. Not loose. Definitely was loose on the toilet after the Hot Ones challenge. All right, let's go ahead and get into the producer pick'ems, Derek.
All right, let's do it.
Last week. Sorry, I'm stalling. I'm trying to pull up these games on my phone.
Stalling.
I don't have it. All right. The Thursday night game. You start off because I started last week. I don't have the regular season numbers in front of me, but off the top of my head, because I'm so good at math, you should be leading me by 3 or 4 games at this current moment.
And that's all I need. All right.
All right. The stool is loose. Yes, it was. Rocket New Era. Ernie.
Quit stalling. Let's go.
Sorry, I'm sorry. All right, let's go ahead and do this. A really good matchup on Thursday Night Football, and I believe T. Higgins is doubtful, right?
I think he's downright out.
Oh, is he just out now? I thought. Okay, well, you know more than me, Derek. Let's go ahead and go to the Thursday night game. What?
That sounded so snarky.
Was that like a little passive?
More than me,
was that a little passive aggressive? Well, you know more than me.
Let me see. Okay, no, you were right. My mistake. He is doubtful. He is doubtful to play in tomorrow's game.
Take that, Derek.
All right,
Derek. Where's
okay,
Tacky?
but doubtful usually means out.
It does. I don't think anyone's ever played when they've been listed doubtful, right? I mean, that's what
I remember. One time, Brett Favre was out for a Monday night game. When I was with the Vikings.
Vikings, yeah.
Sure enough, a couple days later, he was in.
Look at that.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. All right. Thursday night game. The Cincinnati Bengals against the Baltimore Ravens opened up with the Ravens giving 3. It is now Ravens giving 6 on Thursday Night Football. That's a good one. This is a good one. Is this one of the better Thursday night games?
Yeah,
of this year.
I would say so. I would say so. And watch out for these uniforms that the Ravens are going to wear tomorrow. Interesting.
Why? What are they wearing?
They're wearing like some the purple shade's different, and the Raven logo is very different. You'll see tomorrow. It's going to be weird.
Is it the front Raven logo?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, I don't like that one.
All right.
Looks kind of weird.
Walter's already out on it.
I'm already out on it. Yeah, I don't like it. Are the Bengals going to wear their all whites? I'm into those ones. Oh, come on.
I think they're just wearing the regular road unis. But
come on.
I think with how close this matchup was earlier in the season, and the Bengals probably should have won that game. Did a Evan McPherson kick screwed him?
Yes.
And if you remember, Lamar Jackson fumbled the ball away, only to not have it affect him, and Derrick Henry broke a big run.
Yep.
I think the Bengals go into Baltimore and win this game.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. You think they're riding high from beating your Raiders, huh?
Well, you don't need to ride high after that. But I think Joe Burrow, threw 5 touchdown passes last week, didn't need T. Higgins. The Bengals pass defense is not great. And they're going to use the new running back Khalil Herbert a little bit. I got the Bengals going to Baltimore and winning. And if you remember last year, I think this game was on Thursday Night Football a year ago too, and that's when Joe Burrow hurt his hand, the nerve damage in his wrist.
Yep.
So I think the Bengals exercise some demons, get to 500, and beat the Baltimore Ravens.
All right. Well, now we go overseas, and we're heading to Munich, right? We're going to Germany. Germany for some I don't know. I don't
Schnitzel.
know 9. That's what the spread should be. 9.
Jesus.
Sorry. It is the Giants against the Panthers. I'm sorry, Germany. That is such a bad matchup.
Yes.
God, man. Who's? I mean, they're gonna be packed, but Jesus. I remember when they said that they were going to Munich. I have no money to do it, but I was like, dude, I want to go to Munich. I want to go to that stadium.
Good beer.
Bayern?
But
Yeah,
I mean,
dude.
good beer, good atmosphere, bad game.
Yes, bad game. It is the Giants against the Cardinals. Opened up with the Giants giving 1. It is currently the Giants giving 6.5. I guess I'll go with the Giants. I don't have any feel for this game whatsoever. I mean, the Cardinals look okay. Is Bryce Young still the quarterback?
Bryce Young is starting.
The did I say the Cardinals? The Panthers. They look okay.
The Tigers.
They look all right. Yeah, I'm all fucked up, dude. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think I'm having a stroke. I don't know what's going on. No?
Don't say that.
No, I'm not having.
I think you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
I will let
all right.
you know if you were stroking out.
Whoa, hey now. All right, so the Giants. I'm gonna go with the Giants. This is a crazy show, Derek. All right,
It is
so the
tonight, it
Giants.
is.
Yeah, it is. We're really loose. The Giants. I'm gonna take them with the points 6.5. At least the chat is loving it. At least I see AJ Cruz and Pat H and Ernie just enjoying our shenanigans. That's my pick. Giants. We're done with that conversation. Let's come back to the States. And go to Indianapolis. You got the Buffalo Bills against the Indianapolis Colts. Opened up with the Bills giving 2. It is now the Bills giving 4.
Just 4, huh?
Just 4.
That's
kind of low.
I saw Keon Coleman may miss this week. And I don't know what's going on with Amari Cooper and his wrist injury. If this was a bigger spread, I'd probably take the Colts to cover. But I think the Buffalo Bills, with their running game and their defense right now, I think the Bills, they win this game. Lay the points with the Bills too.
All right, taking the Bills. I like it. Now let's go with the Minnesota Vikings against the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Opened up with the Jags giving 2. It is now with the Vikings giving 4.5. Vikings on the road. I was just talking a whole bunch of mess about Sam Darnold, but it is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that the Vikings defense will be way too much for the Jags. So I'm going to go with the Vikings on that one, laying the 4.5, the road favorites in Jacksonville. So I'm going with the Vikings there. Next game, I hate to be you, but this is a matchup that I am looking forward to this morning. This Sunday morning, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Washington Commanders. It opened up with the Steelers giving 1.5. It is in Washington. Opened up with the Steelers giving 1.5. Now it is the Washington Commanders giving 3.
Really?
Yes.
Give me the Steelers. Steelers win this game. I think that
you think they win outright. You take them on the money line, huh?
Yep.
All right.
I think that Jaden Daniels faces his first he did face the Baltimore Ravens earlier this year and was able to keep pace with them a little bit.
Looked good.
He did, but I don't know if I love this Ravens defense as much as in years past. So
how much did he put up against the Ravens? What, did he put up 20
I believe,
or 27?
I believe that final was 30-23.
Okay, I think you're right. Yeah, it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown spread. Yep. Because I had the Commanders plus 7.5. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers winning this game. I think that they will. I mean, I've always said that for whatever reason, Jaden Daniels has just been, playing so effortlessly right now. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers can blitz him and cause some problems. And I've been saying that every week, that I thought that he would come crash down to reality, but it hasn't happened yet. I think this week he struggles a little bit against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Are you like a little bit hoping that it does happen? Because I feel like you're trying to like will it into existence.
I just want to sound smart, but no, I'm just surprised. I mean, I think he's very good. He hasn't really struggled at all yet. Maybe week 1 against the Buccaneers, but besides that, he struggled a little bit against the Bears. But in the end, he threw that Hail Mary touchdown pass. He's just playing great right now. But I'm waiting for him to look like a rookie. And I think this is the week.
All right, I can see that and leave it to Mike Tomlin to disrupt the rookie for sure. I was just looking over at my closet, and would you believe it that I have a Troy Polamalu Pittsburgh Steelers jersey in my closet?
Do you know?
I do.
Well, you're that big of a Head and Shoulders fan.
Yes, dude. Use it religion. You see this head? You see this head of hair? Got to use it.
No,
Gotta use it.
I can't see it, Walter. You're wearing a hat right now.
Well, you want me to take it off? You want to see it? I got a haircut.
Sure,
today.
it's late. Go ahead and take it off for us.
Yeah, look.
Hey now.
Got a hair.
That's some hair, my friend.
Got a haircut today. I got it in a little bun. Okay, sorry, Derek. All right, let's keep going. Keep going down.
I'm sorry. It's late, Walter.
It is late. We're got to wrap up.
Right.
The Atlanta Falcons traveling to New Orleans. And the Falcons are giving 3.5. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
Fair enough.
Yes. Short and sweet.
Okay.
Let's go to the next matchup. It is a AFC West showdown. Denver
Ooh.
Broncos traveling to Arrowhead. What have you ever wanted to travel to Arrowhead?
I've been to Arrowhead.
Have you?
Yep.
A Chiefs Raiders game?
2011. The Raiders went to Arrowhead after the Chiefs beat the undefeated Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
I went with my pops. We went to Arrowhead. It was so cold. Had to wear 2 pairs of socks on both feet. And Raiders won in overtime. When to set up a situation where they could go to the playoffs the next week if they had beaten the Chargers and the Chiefs would beat the Tebow-led Broncos.
Yep.
Tebow and the Broncos lost. Raiders pooped the bed.
I do remember that.
It's one of my most bitter losses as a Raider fan. I remember leaving the Coliseum, ripping off that Carson Palmer jersey, and just realizing my dreams were dead.
All right, fantastic. So
go ahead and laugh, Walter. Go ahead and laugh. Everyone does.
At Arrowhead, it is the Denver Broncos against the Kansas City
game,
Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, we have to go into your pain. Derek Papa's pain. That's another segment.
That'll be another segment. DP's pain.
Yeah. Pain. The Broncos against the Chiefs opens up with the Chiefs giving 9. It is now the Chiefs laying 7.5.
Lay the points with the Chiefs. After what I saw last week against the Baltimore Ravens, the Broncos are a good team and a great team, and they can't hang with the big boys. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right. I like that one. Now the next matchup, it is the 49ers. Wow, the line has changed since this morning. Is the 49ers traveling to Tampa Bay, and it's opened up with the Niners giving 4. It is now the 49ers giving 6. And Tampa Bay, I don't know. I still have my reservations about the second half and what Baker Mayfield would be willing to do against this 49er team. I get a little bit nervous because he's a gunslinger. I mean, he's going to throw it out there, and something that we've seen from the 49ers in the secondary and their defense in second halves is that they cannot shut out teams. And you keep a team with Baker Mayfield at the helm close in a game, that can come back and bite you, especially on the road. 6 points, that is kind of beefy, but I'm hopeful that Christian McCaffrey comes back and that bumps up their offensive efficiency, and that just puts too much of a gap for the 49ers and the Bucs. So I'm gonna take the 49ers on this one on the road. Road favorites giving 6 points to the Tampa Bay Bucs. That's what I'm gonna do.
I like it, Walter. And I just realized this is the Steve Young Bowl. We didn't even bring that up with him today.
Oh, geez. Come on, man.
Yeah, he was hanging down in Tampa Bay. Forgot to bring that up.
Call him up again. Or actually, I'll have Greg and John mention that so that he can just call us.
Oh, come on, bro. No one remembers me my memory as a Buccaneer. Come on. We're past those days, man. Bro, Warren Sapp sacked me week 1, 1997. I don't like being in Tampa Bay anymore.
Yeah, who needs Steve when you got Derek? All right, so let's go ahead.
It's a pretty damn good impression, isn't it, everybody?
It was
Come on,
good.
chat. Let me hear it. Let me hear how much you love that.
All right, the next matchup, I think it's the last game of the morning slate. It is the New England Patriots against the Chicago Bears. Wasn't this a Super Bowl with
Back in the day,
Kyle
1985.
Orton? Kyle Orton? No. What was it?
1985. The 85 Bears beat down the Patriots.
Who did Kyle Orton go against in the Super Bowl?
That was Rex Grossman against the
Oh,
Colts.
Rex Grossman. Yeah, not Kyle Orton. Yeah, sorry. Wrong quarterback. My mistake. The Patriots against the Bears. Bears laying 6 in Chicago.
Yeah, lay the points with the Bears. Bears should win this game. I believe they've won all their home games this year, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, give me the Bears to win. Lay the points. Drake May, man, great play in regulation is tie the game up by throwing that touchdown pass with no time left. But then he rushed it, throwing that pick to lose the game. I think the Bears defense gets to Drake May a little bit. So yeah, give me the Bears. Lay the points.
Fantastic. The Tennessee Titans against the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers laying 7.5. Give me the Chargers. I believe in nothing about the Tennessee Titans.
Fair enough.
All right, let's go to a good matchup in, I think it's the game of the week, the 125 game in the East. It is the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys. Eagles are laying 7.
If you had to guess, Walter, what channel is this game on?
I would, based on the question, it's probably on CBS, but it should be on Fox.
In years past, this would always be on Fox, and for whatever reason, this is a Tony Romo and Jim Nantz game.
And I only know that it's on CBS because the Fox team is with the 49ers.
Yes, Tom Brady will be on the Niner call this week.
Yep.
Even though he
Yay!
won't be
Yay!
Well, that wasn't sarcastic.
Like that one?
Yeah, sure. I love a good yay. Given Dak Prescott's injury, I'm not gonna believe in the Cowboys whatsoever. Yeah, they could have Micah Parsons back, but I'm going with the Eagles. And it sounds like AJ Brown was back at practice today, so that's a pretty good sign. So give me the Eagles to win this game. And what was the spread?
7 points. 7 points.
Yeah, lay the points with the Eagles.
All right, touchdown in Dallas. Now we go with the Jets against the Cardinals.
Ooh.
Jets are laying. It's essentially a pick 'em. It's in Arizona. Wow. I think I am going to go with the Jets on this one.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying that I would go with New York too. And a couple weeks ago we were saying this team's dead if they win this game. What are they? They'll be 4-6.
4-6, yeah.
Not looking terrible.
You think they backdoor the playoff picture? Do you think they get in as the 7th seed? They have to run the table. I haven't looked at the Jets' schedule. I don't know if
they have to run the table. I think that they can go 10-7, 9-8, and make the playoffs.
All right. We'll have to discuss that. Yeah.
Well, the Broncos have to lose some games. Chargers have to lose some games.
Broncos are going to lose games. Chargers.
They are.
Games. I don't believe in them. I
just because the Broncos beat them head to head. Yeah, I don't know. If they go in Arizona and beat the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are playing well, then you might see me a little more confident in the Jets making the old postseason.
I think you're more likely to get 3 teams from the North in the AFC than the Jets making the playoffs.
Well, I think that's automatic. I think that Steelers, Bengals. Well, I shouldn't say automatic. I think the Bengals still are a playoff team. I don't know. I'm putting everybody in the playoffs. I need to stop talking.
You get in. You get in. You're a real Oprah right now.
Oh, God,
everyone gets in.
I wish. Have her money. Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Be a beautiful life.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I picked the Cardinals. Or no, I didn't. I picked the Jets. Don't you try to bamboozle me, Derek. All right.
I'm not bamboozling. I'm just fantasizing about being Oprah.
I know you're throwing me off. All right, so the final game for you, Derek, this week, it's a good one. It is the Detroit Lions and the Houston Texans on Sunday Night Football. 5:20 kick in Houston in H-Town. Opened up with the Texans at half a point, giving half a point. What's the point? What's the point of that? You like that one? Derek, and then the Lions are now laying 3.5.
Texans have been off since last Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Still a good team, still a good defense,
Mm-hmm.
but no Stephon Diggs. What's the deal with Nico Collins? When's he coming back?
I don't. He's supposed to be close, but I don't know if he's coming back this week.
Could make return versus Lions after hamstring injury. Okay, that's on the table. Let's see if it actually happens.
What's his practice report? Do you have that readily available? I'll go ahead and look that up.
Well, he would have to be the practice window would have to open for him. So
and it hasn't opened, right? So
yeah, so most likely he's not going to play.
I was going to say, what are the chances that?
Oh, here we go. Well,
late,
yeah,
late in the week?
I'm looking at more. Yeah, Nico Collins and Will Anderson missed first practice.
Yeah.
Okay,
he's probably not playing. Safe to
probably
say.
not. But you know what? Give me the Texans.
All right, going
I
Texans.
I see the Texans winning this football game.
All right.
Yep.
Fantastic.
In the words of Marcus Thompson, book it.
All right, book it. And the final one, a less juicy matchup on Monday Night Football. It is the Miami Dolphins against the LA Rams. Essentially a pick 'em. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Fair. What's the spread?
It's essentially a pick 'em 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, really? That's it?
Yeah, it's only 1. It opened up with the Dolphins giving half a point, and then now it's the Rams giving 1. I would assume that would creep up to a 1.5 or 2 by Sunday.
Yeah, you would have to think because the Rams, they've won some games the last few weeks, or 3 in a row actually.
3 in a row.
And then the Dolphins are free falling.
But I'm free.
I was hoping you go there.
Free falling. I went to a Tom Petty concert.
And the Heartbreakers?
Yeah, I went to the shit. What? God, I'm looking at the picture of it. What? Oracle.
Nice.
Yeah. Jesus, I don't know why. I hate who I'm turning into, Derek. I forgot the name of the place that brought me so much joy.
Hey, it's all good, Walter. I actually forgot my login for my Wells Fargo account a couple of hours ago, and it was driving me crazy. But let's end this podcast as I serenade us with the sweet sounds of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Right.
She's a good girl. Close us out, Walter.
All right, everybody.
Mama.
Thank you for stopping by to another live episode of the Practice Squad. And we'll be back again next week. You guys have a good one. Myself, Walter. That is Derek Papa.
For breaking her heart.
Next time.
Because I'm free falling. All right.